In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about exactly how to upsell your students or your community into a high ticket offer. So, my name's Latice. I've made over $2 million online, and I've done a lot of upselling in my career over the last 5 years. In this video, like I said, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this ethically and in a way that doesn't feel salesy or gross, and in a way that you don't need these complicated like upsell funnels or side sell funnels. Of course, automation is always welcome, but if you guys have been in my world for any amount of time, you know that I'm a simple gal and I like to keep it really simple. So I'm going to show you guys 3 ways that you can upsell your existing audience and students, whether they paid you no money or they paid you $197 or $1,000, how to take them from, a one-time purchase to a second-time purchase to a third-time purchase and beyond. Okay. So I have students and clients that have spent, over $30,000 with me, and they found me whether it's through a free lead magnet or they spent $97 or $37. So just know that there is an art and a science to upselling, and it's really important that you understand that the best client to get is a client or a student that you've already had, somebody that's already raised their hand, somebody that's already in your world, somebody that's already bought into you. Is going to be so much easier to sell them, right? It's not going to really feel like selling them, but it's just going to feel like taking them on a journey. Okay. So let me grab the Google Doc. Let's get into it. I know it's a little bit bright, but your girl is on her content game. So you guys are just going to see all of this today, and we're going to get right into it. So let me share my screen and let's kind of talk about the first way on how you're going to upsell your student from a digital product into a high ticket offer. So like I already said, the best client is from somebody that has already purchased from you. Okay. So if you haven't had that many people that have purchased from you, no worries. That's okay. But over time you will. And upselling is going to be a really great way to not have to hustle so much, because the more a client spends with you, the more they're bought in, the more that you're building your brand and your reputation. So the first way to upsell your student or audience member into a digital product is by leveraging a free community. Okay. So I did a free community for many years, and I'm actually contemplating bringing it back, but leveraging a free community is really powerful. There's a few reasons why. More than ever, especially post pandemic, people are really wanting to feel safe, seen, and heard, and a part of something bigger than themselves. So a free community is really, really powerful. So my 2 favorite places right now in 2025 to host a community is going to be school, and then also Facebook groups. I've also seen a lot of people doing private Instagram channels for their community, which I may be testing out because I'm always testing, I'm always building in public. But those are going to be the top 3 places that you can hold a community. Really, the biggest reason why you would want to have a free community is I always have this saying, if you never want to guess where the next client or the sales coming from, having a free community is a great place, because it's going to be the easiest place to stay connected to the members and also consistently take them on this journey with you. Because here's the thing, what you don't want to do is center your business around, and I did this for many years, but centering your business around selling one thing one time. After that, it's kind of like, okay, well, what else is next? And I can't tell you guys how often I had clients being like, Latice, like, what's next? Where's the mastermind? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I think that there's a time and a place to have certainty and simplicity in your business. And also, if you have people wanting what's next and you have a what's next to offer, it's going to be so important that you build community. Okay. So what you're going to do inside of this free community is you're going to repurpose content. So if you're already creating content on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, you want to use this free community to either share that content exclusively, right? Or you can share that content exclusively first, specifically because it's going to get people feeling like extra special. They're going to feel bought in. They're going to feel like, wow, like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. I think about like Meg the Stallion specifically, like she calls her community the hotties, right? The hot girls. So when we think about that, when you're building out your community, if you can call your community something where they feel stamped in, they feel branded, they feel like they're a part of something bigger, they're going to buy so much more from you that you can't even imagine. Okay. Like I always say that I could drop an offer at any time right now and people are going to buy from me. That's because I've built community in so many different ways. right now I don't have a free community, but I did have a free community for many years. And what I will tell you is that the moment I drop an offer, people will buy. Okay. So how you can also leverage your free community and how you start to do the upsell process is one, naturally it's going to happen because you're going to be adding value. You're going to be demonstrating competence. You're going to be educating your audience. You're going to be activating them. So they're naturally, as you especially grow that community with new leads, shout out Instagram ads that can help you grow that. But naturally, they're going to have the conversation with themselves of like, wow, I really love so and so. How else can I work with them? Okay. So you're going to naturally get messages from that. Another way where you can be really, really proactive is obviously leveraging the content inside of that community and giving really strong call to actions for them to buy whatever you have for sale. Okay. I'm not one of those people that believe that you need to have these huge launches or anything like that. As long as you have some sort of community, some sort of buy in, your people will buy pretty much anything at any time. Okay. So one of the strategic pieces that you can put into play too is that every time a new member comes into your world, and this is what we used to do inside of our Facebook group, every time a new member comes into your world, what we would do is we would send them a message. That message wasn't salesy or pitchy. That message was essentially welcoming them to the community. And then B, saying, hey, here's a free resource. If you have a lead magnet or something else, here's a free resource that's going to be really, really valuable to you. Okay. So that's another way that you can start to warm them up, because what we want to create is what I call the Netflix effect. Okay. When we create the Netflix effect and they start to binge on your content, they start to binge on your brand, they start to binge on you, they're going to be so sold out for your offers and you that you can't tell them nothing, right? They're going to be sold out and ready to buy anything and anytime. I have clients that are truly lifers. Every time there's like so many of them at this point, but every time I put an offer out, they buy. Every time. It could be one word on the sales page and they buy. Okay. So creating community is going to allow you to also reduce risk in your business as well, because as we know, especially right now, I'm filming this video before we know for sure about TikTok, and I'm praying to God that it stays. But what happens, right, when you don't have a community, right? What happens, and TikTok is community, yes, but when you have community, specifically inside of like a group container, you are reducing risk in your business, because what happens if, maybe your ads get shut down? What happens if a platform like TikTok that's not owned by America gets shut down, right? You want to be able to reach your people at any time. Okay. So building community is vital. And when people binge on your content, they will stay and they will buy from you, point blank, period. Right. I know for a fact, my girlfriend, anytime Beyonce puts something out, she buys it. Like anytime. Like she's a Beyonce stan because Beyonce has created community in the Beehive and things like that. Okay. So that's the first way. That's going to be a really easy, natural way to upsell your clients. Okay. Let's talk about number two. So number two is really, really fun. Number two is all about hosting pop-up trainings and Q&A. So I'm going to give you guys the tea on how to do this. Super simple. So you have an email list, you have Instagram, wherever you have your community or your audience. What you want to do is realize that hosting a pop-up training and Q&A is super low lift. So what you can do, and I did this a couple weeks ago, and I've done these so many times, especially when I had community inside of my Facebook group, I would do these like once a week or once every other week. But if you don't have a free group or community yet, that's okay. You can just use your email list or your Instagram stories, what have you. These are super low lift. So what I want you to do is you're not going to create any slides. You're just going to pick a really juicy topic. So for me, the last pop-up that I did specifically, and you can invite everybody in your audience, or you can invite just people that have bought from you already. So it can be really intimate. They both work. Just pick one. What you can do is host a pop-up training that's in demand. So basically you're going to send out an email or post a piece of content and say, free training, how to XYZ without whatever thing that they don't want to do. So let me give you an example. If I was a fitness coach, I would say, and I would want to use some current relevancy. So I would say, how to lose weight in 2025 without restrictive dieting or cardio, my 3-step process. So I would say, hey, I'm hosting a free training on this, send it out to your audience, and then have them register and come in. Okay. So how you're going to make this super low lift, you're not going to have any slides. You're going to host it just on Zoom, right? And then you're also going to create urgency because you want people to show up. So pick a time, of course, where your audience can actually show up, but you want to create urgency. So how I do this, and I don't do this every time, time. But what I do to really create urgency is I will say, hey, there's not going to be any replays available. And that's facts. I'll record it so I have private content to repurpose, of course, because everything is content these days. But what I won't do is I will stand by my tongue and my word. I won't send out the replay. So it's like 100% for sure. I'm saying there will be no replay available. You can come to this training. I'm going to give you 30, 40 minutes of training. And then for the last 20, 30 minutes, you guys can ask questions and I'll take as many questions as I can for the like up to the hour. Okay. So every time I do that, I get, 40, 50, 60, 70 people showing up for that. And we go to the full hour, if not over. And what that does is it creates buy-in. B, it shows them that you've humanized them and you're not looking at them as just as leads or other people that are in your audience. You're actually giving value to them. And here's the thing, you guys, 99% of people won't do this. Hosting a pop-up training about content that you've already created, you're already the expert on the topic. So you don't need slides. You don't need this fancy presentation. You just need a human conversation. Basically, it's so simple. Just script out a little Google Doc with 5 points, then go into depth on all those 5 points, help shift their beliefs and show them why they're stuck and why they want to get out of it. And then from there at the end, and you want to be like, when you start the pop-up Q&A, just say, hey, you guys, at the end of this Q&A and pop-up training, I am going to share a little bit more about how to work with me. No pressure. I'm going to drop a link, but just know that the purpose of this training is to add a lot of value. And then from there, of course, like I'm going to share a little bit about my offer at the end, 2-3 minutes. And then from there, we'll go into Q&A. So every time I do this, I get new clients, and it's because I'm being transparent, I'm being honest, I'm leading with value. So when you do this, you're going to naturally take people that have bought from you, students, audience members, whether they spent $5 with you, if they spent 10,000 with you already, when you are showing up for them, they can trust you, you are innovating and you are available to them, unlike so many people that want to automate everything. Okay. So if you could do this once or twice a month, you're going to create a lot of leverage and you don't need a big lead up time. Typically what I do is I will do this pop-up training and Q&A, and I will say like 3 to 5 days before, because I want people to show up. Right. So I will say, hey, in 3, like if it's a Monday, hey, on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm hosting this pop-up training about XYZ topic. And it's going to be a really juicy in-demand topic that they want to learn about. Okay. And like I said, at the end, you can share a little bit about your offer, invite them to enroll. And then what I also like to do, what's really nice in Zoom specifically, you can get a download. You can run a report at the end. You can get a complete download of who's attended the training. So then you can DM them like, and a couple hours later or the next day and say, hey, so-and-so, thank you so much for attending the training. I would love to know, did you have any questions specifically? How are your ads doing, or how's your weight loss journey, or whatever it is that you help your clients with? You can give them like free advice. And then from there, naturally take the conversation to a place. If they're a good fit, invite them to work with you. Okay, you guys, but it's going to be so effortless. It's going to feel natural and it's going to feel really authentic. Okay. So that's number 2. I would recommend doing these pop-up trainings once or twice a month. You can do more if you're growing your audience consistently with ads or YouTube or viral reels and TikToks or whatever. And the more that your audience grows, the more you can do these pop-up trainings and Q&As. Okay. So keep it light, keep it cute, keep it low lift. Okay, the last one is going to be a little bit more direct, but this is literally, I just signed a new client literally like on Friday. And I do like, this is a person that I had noticed a couple of things, and I'll give you a backstory. So I do have quite a few digital products. I think I have about 15. So I'm kind of constantly rotating what I'm selling. And I noticed this particular person, she had bought over $3,100 worth of self-study items from me. So I was like, okay, bet. Like this person clearly is bought in. They love what I'm doing. They love what I'm saying. And I had a dream about it. But I've done this before. It wasn't just a dream. But this past week I had a dream. I was like, oh, I need to DM so-and-so, right? I keep a list of people that are, top buyers and they're consistently engaging. So I messaged them and I said, hey, name, I noticed you grabbed like, a ton of different offers from us. And I wanted to check in to see, A, first, is there anything I can help you with? And B, I would also want to invite you to work with me in one-to-one, because based off of everything that you bought, I would love to help you piece together a strategy. No pressure. Let me know if there's any questions I can answer from you. And then from there, let's talk about one-to-one if it makes sense. No pressure. So when you're able to disarm somebody in the sales process, for one, you don't really have to disarm too much, because this person has already bought from you, especially if they've bought multiple things. Like they're a stan, like they're a super fan, they're about it. Okay. So you don't have to be weird or pitchy or read from a sales script. You can literally be so direct. Hey, so-and-so, notice that you bought this and this and this offer. Thank you so much. And also, like, I want to see if I can help you with anything first, lead with the give, and then second, make the ask of like, I would love to talk to you about blah 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 offer that's coming up. I think you'd be a perfect fit, right? And you can do this as on a cadence as far as like you could do this after each purchase. And I recommend this to a lot of my clients is like if you are launching a new product, like a new digital product for 37 or 97 and you've got 30 sales, that's 30 new people that or even existing people are going to be so much more apt to buy your next level high ticket offer by simply reaching out and making an ask. Okay, lead with a give and then make an ask. Okay, so that's what you can do. You can do these like daily after each purchase. You could do them in batches. I tend to find myself 2 or 3 times a week sending out these like DMs, but they're from me. They're not from a sales team. They're not from somebody weird. They're from me, and people, and I do it as a voice note typically on Instagram, and people love it. They are obsessed. They love it, and they are just so happy to hear from me. Because just because somebody's bought self-study doesn't mean that I'm not here to help them, right? And I personally have a high ticket offer that can help them at the next level, tie in a lot of the things that I teach together. Okay, so that's really how you're going to upsell somebody that's bought one of your low ticket offers into your high ticket. Now, of course, in another video, I can go in depth on the automations and the emails. So if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know. But from a place of like turning a student who's bought a $97 offer into somebody that's spending 10, 20, $1,000 with you, whatever your high ticket offer is, these are going to be the quickest ways to do it. So just to recap, right, the 3 ways are going to be hosting a free community where you always are adding value, you're demonstrating confidence, you're educating your audience. Second is hosting up, weekly, or it's not weekly, sorry, bi-weekly or monthly. You could do more if you like, but hosting bi-weekly or monthly pop-up trainings and Q&As, super simple, super so lift. And then from there, inviting people and reminding them that you have other offers that are higher touch, higher proximity, higher access. So I would do these once or twice a month, especially if you're using ads to build your audience, which most of y'all are because you're in my audience, so you know I'm about it. And then the third one is going to be the direct ask. Like I think people forget. I got a girl who messaged me a couple weeks ago. She's like, you mentioned on your stories once, Latice, to just DMO clients to see if they needed help with anything. And she's like, I literally signed like a pay in full client. So what I need you guys to understand is that like at the core of all of these 3 things, right? At the core of all these 3 ways to upsell a student into a high ticket offer in its simplest way with like barely any automation is talking to them, having a conversation and letting them know that you have more things to sell, because most of the times people don't even know that you have another offer, okay? Or you have a next level, and that's okay. This is what we call behind the scenes or back end selling. And if you can keep this up, you will have the monthly recurring revenue and the new students and the new cash flow and the new revenue that you want in no time, okay? So if you guys like this video and you learned a thing or two, definitely let me know below. And if you're brand new to my audience, my world, hello, nice to meet you. Definitely hit that subscribe button, give me a like. And hopefully you took a lot of value away from this video, because I haven't really seen a lot of videos on YouTube about upselling. And this is how I do it, you guys. I keep things really simple, really quick, really clean, really fresh. And I just want to serve my people, because when I serve my audience, right, I get everything that I want right back 10 times over. Okay. So always remember, make the ask after the give, and you will never have an issue getting clients again. Okay. So I adore you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.